Good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook video where I'm going to discuss with you all the major dollar pairs and gold. Let's dive right into the charts. What we can see today is that like yesterday and last Asia session, EURUSD pushed down lower. After swiping the lows over here, we got a little bullish reaction and now we're continuing down lower. There is still liquidity situated underneath these lows over here. And I do think we're going to trade towards them for now. We are now inside discount prices. If we look at the daily time frame, what we can see is that we are still bearish as well. So lower prices are still possible. Also, we have some liquidity situated over here together with this being somewhat of a equal low. So for now, I do think we can continue down lower. If I look at the daily chart, then I don't think this is really strong. So maybe a push up and then a continuation down lower would be favorable. If we go to the 4 hour once again, what I wanted to see is that I wanted to see a bigger retracement maybe towards here and then a change of character down, but we didn't get that and we continued down lower. So for me, there was no trade to be taken just now. So I'm going to monitor things closely in the coming days. But right now I do kind of feel like it's going to be another week where I won't be trading. Then if we go to the DXY, what we can see is that we push down lower on the opening of the week. We swiped the liquidity underneath this bearish candlestick that I have noted out earlier as well in one of the earlier Outlook videos. After that, we've seen a push in towards the upside. Now I was waiting or am waiting for a push in towards the downside, breaking the 4 hour structure and then continuation in towards the downside to take out a lot of the liquidity still open here and underneath these lows here. Also a lot of liquidity situated here. But as of now, we are continuing up higher. Would it be great if we can fill this gap and then see a push down? Then the fractal comes somewhere underneath this low over here. Then a structure breaks if it's with a lot of force and convincing price action, then I would be happy to look for some continuation shorts in towards the downside. If we then go to GBP USD, what we can see is that we continued up a little bit higher. We're now kind of stalling here, consolidating. If we go to the 1 hour, you can see we're not really doing anything. On GU, we are still bullish, swing structure wise on the daily time frame. And we have touched in towards demand. So yeah, a little bit of a 50-50 situation here, if you ask me. Then this was our last swing position, in my opinion. I did draw it over here because we pushed up and then we made some pullback down. But if we look at the price action from here to here, we did not touch the 50%. So you could also say that we're still bullish between this low and this high. But just to trade a little bit in line with the structure, I've drawn the 4 hour over here because we did make a break up here and then this is our lowest point. So we're now 4 hour swing bearish and then we can expect a pullback towards at least 0.5. We didn't get that yet, so I want to see at least that and maybe a touch of the yearly open. Otherwise, if it just continues down lower, there will be no trade in this for me. If I then go back to EURUSD one more time, if we would say that this is our 4 hour swing structure being broken in towards the downside, then once again, this would be our structure now and we haven't had a pullback as well. So if we say this is our 4 hour swing break in towards the downside, then yeah, this is still beautiful liquidity to grab around the 0.5 together with the monthly and yearly open. And also there was no trade to be taken for me here just yet. If we then go to NZD USD, we can see that we are 4 hour bearish, but we are starting to create some kind of a low. Did we swipe the liquidity underneath here though? This is at 58152, 581. We barely swept the low, so there are equal lows now situated over here, so that's not really strong. If we would have swept the lows over here, then it would be a lot stronger. If I remove this and then, just to be sure, check it one more time, then yep, we barely touched it, but we didn't, so we created some equal lows here. So not really strong to trade off, and together with the fact that the DXY is still trading up higher, I don't want to risk getting into a long position just yet. Also, if we look at the supply zone here, then this is the last supply zone that's still in control on the 4 hour. So we need to see at least a break of that, then a pullback, and then continuation up higher. And I'm not going to waste my chances on calling the bottom here. Then if we go to AUD/USD, as you can see, broke in towards the downside. So we are now 4 hour swing bearish on AUD/USD from this low over here. 4 hour swing. So what we can then do is place a Fibonacci retracement together with the fact that this is not really strong price action, and I want to see a pullback, take out the liquidity here, maybe touch the monthly open, then a trade down lower, or if DXY starts to turn around, then we can start for some looking for some longs again. But in my opinion, I do think we can trade down lower in towards the discount prices of the daily time frame together and in line with the DXY. But we have to wait for some setups. If we then go to USD CAD is now trading up higher once again, but not really beautiful price action. I do still think we can take out the liquidity above this high, and maybe we're going to do that tomorrow, or like this day or tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we sweep some lows, we then push up higher. 1 hour breaks are there, but just really ugly price action. I don't want to really place my stop loss underneath any of these lows. Not a lot of liquidity getting taken out over here, so a lot of liquidity build up. And I do think eventually this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful trade in towards the downside if we can get the confirmation. I hope maybe next week. USD JPY also consolidating, still not trading this. Need more clarity from this pair, as I've been saying for the last 2 weeks. So going to skip over that quickly. Then if we look at USD CHF, I expected price to react from this bearish supply zone over here, the 4 hour supply zone that was situated here. But actually we didn't, and we are continuing up higher. If I look at this, then yesterday there was no trade for me because yeah, we didn't swipe this low and we just started to trade up higher. There's no liquidity being taken out, so it's really, for me, in my eyes, a bet that if you enter here and you go long, then yes, it works in line with what DXY is currently showing, but there's not a real good setup to be played where I can check off everything from my trade checklist. We are still bearish until we break this high over here, and let's just see what we can do. Maybe if we swipe this high over here now, then our fractal becomes this low over here, and then if we see a clear move in towards the downside with some force as well, then we can look for some shorts. On the other hand, this is also a demand zone now, so we could also, of course, retrace down lower and then from this demand zone see price continue up higher once again. But this demand zone is also not really strong because we didn't take out any lows. So equal lows being left over here, liquidity over here, also liquidity underneath here because no lows were taken out. Price just continues up higher. And then if we look in this move as well, there's a lot of liquidity situated underneath the lows because none was taken out. So yeah, there are some possible good setups forming maybe next week, but for this week it's still really, really unclear. If we then go to gold on the 4-hour push down lower once again. We are now trading underneath the 0.5 with body close, candle body close. So that's really trading underneath the 0.5 now. But as of now, I would have to see this high and this lost supply zone get broken, then confirmation, and then a trade in towards the upside. So until that happens or something else forms here, that's going to be the sign to me that there's a good low formed. I'm not going to be trading gold. If we then look at silver, silver continued down lower as well. We swipe some liquidity, some internal liquidity on the 1 hour over here. There is still liquidity open here though, because yeah, these highs took out this, but didn't take out the liquidity here. Would have been beautiful for a short. Now, once again, we're not swiping any lows here, so just consolidating a bit, in my opinion, trading down lower. This is the last supply zone that needs to get broken, so would be favorable if you have a push up, then down, swiping all this liquidity. Then this becomes the last supply zone, break that, wait for confirmation, and then a trade up higher. So patiently going to be waiting for any bullish price action to come into the market. And yeah, just going to be waiting for now, sitting on my hands. One of the longest periods for me personally that I've been sitting on my hands already. But it's also a good lesson because previously I fell a bit back in towards the habit of having to trade every day, being in a trade every day. And now because I made 4% profit in the beginning of the month, first week of May, I've been able to tell myself, okay, you've already met your monthly targets, so you don't have to trade anymore. And every trade you take is a potential loss as well on that 4%. So only wanting to trade A plus setups in this instance. So yeah, we're going to wait and see what the market can give us this week. I'm going to be back tomorrow with another outlook. There's not much to do today, then wait. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow in next episode. Bye.